The Senate is on track to pass a spending bill to keep the government from shutting down tomorrow night. Some conservatives denounce Republican leadership for backing away from defunding Planned Parenthood. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell calls the stopgap spending bill the most viable way forward. Kentucky's other senator, Rand Paul, a presidential candidate, urges Congress to hold out. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood is on the hot seat today on Capitol Hill. Republicans accuse the group of spending millions on political activities, travel, and lavish salaries. GOP lawmakers are building a case for cutting off federal funding. Jason Calvi is at the Capitol tonight with more. Jason?
Brian, Cecile Richards, Planned Parenthood's president, fired back today. She says that taxpayer money is used for things like STD screening and contraceptions, not for political lobbying. This 5-hour hearing today comes after the release of 10 undercover videos alleging Planned Parenthood is illegally selling and harvesting fetal body parts. But today, Republicans focused on the group's finances. Planned Parenthood President Cecile Richards oversees a $1.3 billion budget. About $500 million comes from the government.
Congressman, let me tell you.
No, we don't have time for a big narrative.
I'm not going to give you you asked me.
Yes or no?
Committee Chairman Jason Chaffetz says the group has given $22 million to its lobby arm, the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. He also highlighted her 6-figure salary.
My annual compensation is $520,000 a year.
Republicans focused on the group's finances.
Planned Parenthood reported $127 million in revenue over expenses.
Why do you need federal dollars? You're making a ton of dough.
60% of our patients are receiving they're either Medicaid patients or they may be Title X patients. 78% of our patients live at 150% of poverty or below. We don't just get a big check from the federal government. We, like other Medicaid providers, we are reimbursed directly for services provided.
Democrats on the committee leapt to Richards' defense.
With no evidence of wrongdoing, these Republican investigations multiply and the political theater continues.
One of the Republicans on the committee said he counted 151 times that Cecile Richards and her team visited the White House in the past 6 years. Now, a Democrat today called the producer of those undercover videos a coward for not attending the hearing. But Brian, the chairman of the committee, says David Daleiden, the producer, wasn't invited.
Jason Calvi on the Capitol Hill. Thank you, Jason. Susan B. Anthony List President Marjorie Dannenfelser joins us. So if Planned Parenthood is defunded, will women's health care suffer?
Brian, for every Planned Parenthood, there are 20 federally qualified community health centers. So when Planned Parenthood loses its funding, it goes to those centers. Well, they will get more comprehensive health care. The thing that will change will be that we will not any longer be involved in the abortion business, which is at the heart of the business model for Planned Parenthood.
Will those federally funded health care centers be overwhelmed with new cases if this happens?
No. You know, the reality is that if this change occurs, every health center that will receive this funding will only have to see 2 women per week extra. That's not a heavy lift. And those 2 women per week extra will be far more conveniently and far more comprehensively cared for because they will not be going to Planned Parenthood anymore.
You heard the questions there in the committee. Why is the federal government funding this organization that gets millions from very wealthy donors?
You know, this is the big question. They run a surplus every year. They don't need our money. They are the largest abortion provider in the nation, and our taxpayer dollars fund that big business, that big abortion business, while they run a surplus. They simply don't need the cash, and they don't deserve it, especially given all of that we have seen in the Planned Parenthood videos about what's going on inside of those clinics.
Well, this is clearly split along party lines. There are enough Republicans on Capitol Hill to get this passed. It's clear it will not become law under this administration. What is the point to keep going with this effort?
Well, the point is that we will have a point where we completely defund Planned Parenthood on the federal level. There is no question in my mind, and on the state level. Right now we're dealing with a political reality where knowledge is catching up with reality of what Planned Parenthood does. Meaning, there's been a mindset for so many years that somehow Planned Parenthood helps families plan their families, hence the name. This is not their major focus of what they do. Their prenatal care is 1 or 2%. Their abortion rate in terms of their prenatal care is 98%. So the reason that we're having a hard time getting this defunding battle now is that the bar is so high. We have large majorities in the House and the Senate. What we need is a president, and we've got a lot of great opportunities in the Republican presidential primary where we can very clearly see a president defunding Planned Parenthood when they get to the Oval Office.
Marjorie Dannenfelser, thanks.
Thank you so much.